wonderful Darren is here and we're going to be making a beautiful tart. Usually when you come on the show you're doing sweeties, but not today.
Well, no, I thought I would do something a little bit more savoury because, you know, I can't eat dessert all day.
Why?
So, I know. So we're going to make this delicious beetroot tart. It's got an amazing creamy ricotta filling. It's got some leeks in there and also it's gluten-free.
Oh, okay, you've got my attention.
All right, so first off, we're going to start making our buckwheat pastry. Yes. So I've got some buckwheat flour in here. Right. Juzzy, I'm going to make it by hand. If you can add butter inside. Okay. I'm going to use my fingertips to rub it in and get rid of all those butter lumps.
I think there's a lot of people out there that love tarts, love pastry, but can't enjoy it. So this is a fantastic solution. Buckwheat flour, is it readily available these days?
Yeah, it's readily available. Also, it just gives a really great flavour dimension.
Oh, it's nutty
it's
almost.
Nutty.
Yeah,
it's
touche.
Awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, something a little bit different. If you wanted to make this pastry with plain flour, you could as well. Right, so just switch it over, it'll work exactly the same. Okay, so this is what we're after, Juzzy. Got most of the butter lumps out there. It's gone nice and, I don't know, shaggy.
It's a great word to describe that. It is a bit shaggy, isn't it?
It is a little bit. So we've got sandy texture. Yep. If you could add the liquid for me, please.
Okay.
We've got some cold water.
Cold water.
Yeah, and we've also got some egg yolks. If you can add that. Awesome.
2 egg yolks.
I reckon a generous pinch of salt. And I'll start bringing it together.
Okay, season that pastry up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than pastry if it's savoury or sweet, so it hasn't been correctly seasoned.
Exactly. The salt's going to help it bake and give it a nice colour, also flavour, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you can see, it's come together.
Yeah.
So we're just going to wrap it in some cling wrap, just chill it down. But I've actually done one ahead of time for us, Juzzy.
Okay.
So that will rest for probably about 15 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, you can't roll that straight away because it'll just get way too sticky, right?
Exactly, but I've got one here. And I'm going to roll this out and line our tin, and then we're going to blind bake it. And then we're almost ready to get the filling in.
Very nice.
Okay. Okay, I've cooked my tart shell now.
Yes.
As you can see, this is perfectly cold, but there is a couple of cracks in there.
Yeah, just a few.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Buckwheat pastry is quite brittle, but the filling is going to hold it all together.
Nice one.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to fill this up. And I've already sautéed some leeks here. I've got some butter in there. They're nice and soft. And I've also got some caraway seed because I love caraway seed inside. And I've also got 2 types of beetroot, normal beetroots and golden beetroots, and I've roasted those in the oven and peeled those so they're ready to go. What you're going to do while I'm filling the tart shell with leek is just make a really creamy filling for our tart. So we're going to add some ricotta, mascarpone, an egg yolk and some seasoning, and you're going to whiz it together just by hand.
Oh, and look at this ricotta delicata.
Yeah.
So soft, so delicate, obviously, but it's the creaminess that's going to go so nicely with the beetroots and the sweetness of the leeks.
Exactly right, yeah. It's the perfect combination. We've got a contrast really here in our dish. We've got the crumbly pastry and we've got the buttery leeks, we've got a creamy filling, and then we've got those amazing beetroots on top. It's really simple as well, just to put together.
I love this flavour combination. And an egg yolk just to bind the whole thing.
Exactly.
Pinch of salt?
Pinch of salt, and I reckon get some pepper in there as well. Why
Sure
not?
can. And a bit of pepper.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And that is the mixture ready to go.
Great, if you could just put that on top there.
Can do.
And I'll use a little palette knife to spread it nice and level.
Okay, a little more.
Fantastic, that's great. Thanks, Juzzy.
Pleasure.
All right, and we're just going to push that filling to the edge there.
Right.
And then we're going to arrange some beautiful beetroots on top. So I've just roasted those in the oven and then peeled them while they're still warm.
And do you want to leave some of them whole and cut a few?
Yeah, let's do freeform.
Okay,
You
I
cut
love
the
that.
golden ones.
Yep.
And I'll cut the red ones, and then we'll just arrange them on top.
Look how cute that little one is.
Yeah.
We've got to leave that one whole, right?
Exactly.
So let's make a little bit of art here with the beetroot, and it goes back into the oven. How long are we going to cook it for?
We're going to cook this for 20 minutes, 180 degrees.
Very nice. Daz, that is so pretty.
Yeah, it's so good. It's come out of the oven now, and I've cooled it down, so it should be easier to handle.
Yep.
But I'm really happy with that.
Okay.
So let's lift this up, and we're just going to let that drop. There you
That's
go.
your trick, I see.
That's my trick.
Very good.
fragile pastry, as you know.
Yes, yep.
And then we'll get it onto the board here. Now, I've kept some of the juice that we cooked the beetroots in, so it's got some red wine in there, and it's got some oil, so it's really yummy. And we're just going to take a brush and just brush some of that on top of the beetroots, just to give it a bit of a glisten and a shine.
It really does, doesn't it? It makes such a difference. And what I love is that mascarpone and the ricotta, how it's set perfectly in there. It's like all those gorgeous little beetroots that are poking their head out. I love that we've got two colours of beetroot here, and if you see them, get them and celebrate them in this way.
Give these a go because they're absolutely delicious.
They are.
And they're in season.
I thought it looked beautiful just before you put that sheen on it, but now it's just, oh, shiny. It's the colour of my dress.
It is actually. All right, and we're going to keep that as well because we're just going to make a little salad for the side. We've got some celery hearts, and we've also got a couple of different herbs in there. We've got some dill, some parsley, but whatever you got really. And we're just going to use that juice just to dress that salad, and I think it will go really well with this tart.
Absolutely. I'll give that a quick toss.
And I'll cut us a slice of this.
Please do.
Right. Cut an end bit there.
Oh, I like the end bit. Extra crust.
Oh, that is, look at that.
That is slightly gooey. It's just divine. And I love how those beetroots, because they're so juicy, are staining that gorgeous filling that we have in the centre. And carefully transfer it over. Ooh, so soft and tender.
It's so soft. You could leave this for an extra half an hour or so when it comes out of the oven.
Cute.
It's beautiful.
Oh,
fantastic.
Daz, that is a thing of beauty right there. I'm really interested in that buckwheat pastry.
Yeah, super fragile, it's super nutty. I think it's gonna be really delicious.
Oh, yeah,
there's so much filling in there.
And that pastry. Oh, wow.
I think I need a beetroot.
It's the best. Buckwheat pastry. I never do it, why not?
Exactly. Gluten-free as well, really easy to make, but just a little bit tricky to handle.
Yeah, it is, but it's the texture of it. It's flaky, it's crusty. I just love it. And my favourite part, do you know what it is? That ricotta and mascarpone custard. Mwah, just delightful. Thank you, Daz.
Thank you.